All right, everybody. We are back to the Dream is Free podcast. I am Mike. That's cousin Anthony over there. Today we have a special guest, Matt Nuccio, president of Design Edge.
So my dad started in the toy industry in about 1969, doing design for Ideal and Aurora. And then he got a job at a company called HG Toys, like a small toy company on Long Island. Yeah, well, I was drafted from day one. My family was already in toys, and I really liked toys too.
Yeah.
So I ended up going to FIT, National Institute of Technology, and just studying design. My favorite game that I've invented is something called Color Smash, which is also Goliath, which is just I just like it because it's like a great drinking game. And it's just a bunch of color splats on some circles, and there's words on it, and the words have to match the splats. And
Tony's face perked up there when you said drinking game.
It was a Walmart bestseller, so that game did it right for the show.
Congrats.
Cool. But it's not the biggest thing we've ever worked on. But it's just something I like to do.
That's like personal to you. That's dope.
Yeah.
I like that. All right, everybody. We are back. It's been a while, actually, since we've done one of these. The Dream is Free podcast. I am Mike. That's cousin Anthony over there.
Yo.
And today we have a special guest, Matt Nuccio, president of Design Edge.
Yep, that's right.
And I'm going to just get into it. Well, first of all, how was the trip here?
Oh, it was easy.
You're an hour out.
It was very surprised. I had no
Smooth?
traffic,
Wow.
which means the way back will be nothing but traffic.
Hopefully
Yes.
not. You might get lucky. Today might just be one of those days. Actually, before we start, I was curious, dude. Have you ever played this game?
Yes, I played that game. Yes.
Can you tell the folks what game this is?
Well, that's The Floor is Lava by Endless Games. Yes. Very successful.
I hear someone designed.
I actually didn't do that one, but I do work with that company, and they are a great company, and that is a fantastic game.
So the age range, I just want everyone to know the age range real quick. It is, ready for this?
Yeah,
Give me a guess.
6 to 50.
Very, very wrong. 5 to 105.
No way.
So we're talking grandma and granddaughter or son
Yeah.
can have fun at the family
That's a
event.
hard stop at 105. Though.
Like if you're 6, don't even try.
No, it's
this.
life-threatening at that
Yes,
point.
yes. I could see how it would be. The cards seem like they could, you could slip underneath you at 106. You don't want that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
This is cool though. If you weren't giving it to your cousin little Anthony
Right.
as a Christmas gift now, I would want to play this with you.
Okay. So what are you trying to say, dude?
But we're not gonna be able to play it.
No.
There is Amazon. You can go and purchase some.
Oh.
I recommend you give them to everyone you know.
Okay.
This holiday season.
Yeah, no,
Nice.
I like that. I like that plug. But another interesting. So wait, real quick before we get to what I want to talk about with the company you're now president of, I'm curious where you grew up
Okay.
and what that upbringing was kind of like.
Wow. That's where did I grow up? I grew up on the South Shore of Long Island.
Okay.
What was that upbringing kind of like? It was it was the 80s, so it was it's like Stranger Things, right?
Yeah.
It's just like it's riding my bike around and causing mayhem and getting in trouble and doing all those free range kids.
Yeah.
You know,
like
it was,
actually playing as a child and using
like-
your
like-
imagination.
Yeah. Well, also like waking up at like 7 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, watching like 20 cartoons, one in a row, and then like hopping on my bike and meeting my friends, and not so much as even like seeing my parents until 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah. No, it's the best. That's kind of how I grew up too. I feel like I just turned 30 on November 30th. So I feel like my generation, I didn't have smartphones. We didn't have any of that stuff. So that you're explaining my childhood too, and I feel like we were the last ones to be able to experience that whole kind of lifestyle.
Going outside a lot.
It's different,
Yeah,
dude.
it is
A lot of during COVID, for example, I was shocked to see how many kids and families were outside. Like during the height, you'd see a lot of people outside, and I was like, that's during that negative time, that stretch where it was really bad. I was like, well, at least there's that positive right now. Like kids are kind of getting back to that.
It was good and it was bad because I'm a mountain biker, so during COVID, I'd be constantly bombing down some trail and have to stop for a family of 5.
Because
it wasn't supposed to be on the trail.
they're not usually there.
Yeah, and then they're mad at you like you're some psychopath.
Yeah, it's like this is the course.
So I teach their kids a few new words.
Yeah, that's very good. Very good. Yeah, I love that. So Long Island, Southie. You like that?
Yeah, it's cool.
Thank you. High school, college, where'd you go?
Well, high school, I went to John F. Kennedy High School, and my senior year was very awkward because one of the girls in my class shot some woman in the face. That was Amy Fisher. I don't know if you ever followed that suit, but yeah, it was all over the news.
Like gunshot?
Yeah, she was
Wow.
she was sleeping with. She had like met this much older guy, and then she didn't want the wife to be around, so she shot her, and it was all over the news. It was everywhere you went.
And you were
In the class, so we had like everyday news vans in front of the school, helicopters flying over. You could sell your yearbook for $300 to the press. Like everyone was doing that. Yeah.
wow.
No kidding. $300.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you do it?
Did I do it?
No.
I wasn't that smart of a kid. I was like, no, I want this for sentimental value. I
Yeah.
don't even know where it is now.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I should have sold. I didn't know there'd be like a Facebook when I got older. That I could, I'd be seeing these people all the time.
Right, exactly. Like you wouldn't miss a beat. No, it's crazy though. Was it? It didn't happen in school, did it, or did it?
Actually, what happened was that she left in the middle of the day and like came back, like and
Did
shot
it?
her in between
Came back to
class.
school.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So
Very, very studious person, I guess.
Yes. And they made movies. Drew Barrymore
wow.
starred her.
I'm surprised you never heard
Alyssa
this.
Milano. There were like a bunch of like made-for-TV movies that were like terrible.
renditions of it.
Yeah, I had got into an argument that day with her in the school.
Really?
Whoa.
About the phone. I remember. I guess she was trying to call him to tell him she was going to shoot him or whatever. Shoot her.
Shoot
or
her.
whatever.
Yeah.
And then in the movies, everyone thinks there's one character that's supposed to be me, but I don't remember which one it was. But it totally wasn't me because it was some guy in like a leather jacket who was like
Like a jock.
with a crew cut. And meanwhile, I was like total like emo before it was emo with like a trench coat and like asymmetrical hair.
Yeah. That's so funny. They should have done that. That would have been more authentic. It's more, that she would definitely not say anything to you. That's so funny, dude. Well, not the other part, but that part. That's crazy. Yeah, not the whole
the
death
murder.
thing. Yeah, the murder part is not good.
Oh, and the worst part is, I mean, she has the quintessential horrible Long Island accent. So that I think when people think of the Long Island accent, they
think of
her.
that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is crazy. I mean, I've never experienced that, but that's nuts to be like in that time of history and so kind of like a part of it.
Yeah, pretty prominent in the story, I feel like.
Yeah, it was it was crazy. It really was. My friend had a party.
So did you let her use the phone? I'm sorry.
Like, it's become so blurry over the years. Like,
That's a good question,
What
right?
actually happened? I think she was just having a fit about it, and I think I just told her to fuck off.
Yeah.
And like that was that, and then she
Fucked off.
Yeah, but again, I don't really. It's so long ago. What I do remember more clearly was there was like a Saturday night, and we were having a party at my friend's house, and then all the reporters just like showed up at the party to like interview everybody.
Oh my god.
And then everyone started stealing stuff out of the reporters' cars, and like someone literally stuck a banana in a tailpipe and all this.
Nice.
And then I came to school on that Monday, and my friend who had the party and me got called to the principal's office like instantly, like on the announcement. And they were like drilling us about what happened, but it was off school property, so there was like nothing
you could do. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is. Whoa, we've never had a high
like
school
that.
story.
Like that? No.
No, not at all. So then, all right, whoa. So then college, you finish high school. Where do you go to college?
I go to the Art Students League at first, and I studied life drawing for a bit. And I mean, that's
You said live drawing?
life drawing.
Life
So
drawing.
it's like,
Where is that?
drawing naked people. It's on 57th Street in Manhattan.
Oh,
Okay.
cool. Okay.
It's a prestigious art school, actually, but it's not just like a regular college. It's more like a where people go to just like really master life drawing.
Right.
And the locker next to me was an actor named Peter Sellers. So not Peter Sellers. Who's the guy who plays Columbo?
I don't know.
Peter
Tony's
Falk. Peter Falk.
Tony's our movie guy.
Falk.
Yeah, and he was obviously he was old then, but yeah, he would sit next to me, we'd be drawing, and I'd be like, "That's Columbo." And Columbo was a big hit in like the '70s, like a '70s TV show, way before my time.
Yeah.
But it was pretty cool. And yeah.
Why'd you choose that? Like
Why did
life
I-
art,
why
for
did I-
example, as
So
your choice.
So I did a spell as doing fine art. So I was painting for a while and doing gallery shows. And when I was 19, I was fortunate enough to have a one-man show that the New York Times did a 2-page review on, and it was and I got to meet a lot of famous artists, and I was in that circle for a little while, and then I don't know, my family was already in toys, and I really liked toys too.
Yeah.
So I ended up going to FIT, Fashion Institute of Technology, and just studying design, and then Yeah. So
There's no reason why you were drawn to art though before.
Well, I grew up in an artistic family. So,
Okay, there we go.
Grandparents were artists. Both my parents are artists.
Cool. That's what I wanted. Yeah.
What do you mean by like your family was already into toys?
So my dad started in the toy industry in about 1969, working with Ideal and
Loves that
Aurora
year.
Toys. And
Good year.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Well, man.
Not just for
I
the
know,
number.
but you are the one.
I'm just, it's a good year. Mets won the World Series.
Oh, okay.
The moon landing, Woodstock,
I know.
Beatles,
I
dude.
get it. I get
It's
it.
not. He also likes '96. That was a good year too.
Yes.
96, Rangers won the. That was 94. Never mind.
Yeah. Get out of here. I'll continue though.
So my dad worked at doing design for Ideal and Aurora, and then he got a job at a company called HG Toys, which was like a small toy company on Long Island. And then in his tenure, they went from like almost going out of business to being like $115 or $14 million company, which in like in early 1980s was a big company.
It's like double that now, like money wise, folks.
And then they got in a little bit of trouble for some bad real estate purchasing, and they got sold to a company in Chicago. My father didn't want to move to Chicago, so he started Design Edge with my mother, who's an illustrator and an art teacher, out of the garage. I was 14, and as I always say,
as you watch that.
yeah, well, I was drafted from day one. Like, my father was
Yeah.
And I wasn't allowed to like sit and watch TV while he was working. I was brought into the shop and learning the skills that I still use to this day.
That is sick.
Cool. Nice garage company.
Yeah,
it was
I love that.
it was literally in the garage. And I remember when I went to FIT and we were doing packaging, I wasn't paying attention to the teacher, which is a very common theme for me.
I've been there.
I don't know. I was probably talking to some girl or something. And the teacher's like, well, Mr. Nuccio, if you know how to make a box, you show the class. And I was like, and she was like, oh.
Yeah. You're like, I'm a protege.
Yeah,
Wow.
I was faster and better than she was. But
Yeah.
Because I had spent like countless days like just hand
It's a
cutting
10,000 hour rule. Like
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
already had become
Yeah.
a master of that.
Yeah, by the time I was 20, it was
Yeah.
like it was no big deal.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, I coasted through art school. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm just here for the degree. The rest
Yeah,
of this
to
is
get the like for other people to say, oh,
the
he's
prestige.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Which up until now, no one's ever asked me about.
Nice.
Isn't that funny?
Yep.
Except us, we asked.
Yeah.
We asked.
Yeah. No one ever really asked, and the people that tell you just want to brag about what school they went to.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Not this show. We care.
Right. There you go.
That's so cool.
Oh yeah, I noticed your diplomas on the wall when I walked in.
Yeah, they're actually everywhere. You see that one? That's Tony's in the middle. Mine's to the right. Renee's is the Pokemon one. But yeah, that's so sweet that it's kind of just been in your DNA. It's a lineage thing too. From both, was it just one set of grandparents or?
Well, yeah, one set of grandparents were really, really good. My grandmother on my father's side actually also went to FIT back when it was a vocational school in the late 30s, early 40s, studying fashion.
Right out of the Depression.
Yeah, because my great-great-grandfather, her father, was a tailor in the city, so she studied fashion, and I actually have her portfolio.
Wow.
Yeah, which is really cool. So
That
it's
is cool.
all these drawings of clothes for women's clothes from the late 30s, early 40s.
That would be a cool project one day to revamp, get someone to make them and do a little show with them.
Oh, yeah.
That would be sweet.
Yes, it's a good idea.
Yeah,
but I would get them all sized for me.
That's actually even better. And one for Tony, the main one, the one you want to highlight at the end where he comes out in all of his glory.
I like that
that's
Tony
great.
can rock a mustache. When I shave a mustache, I look like Mario.
Oh,
I get
well,
that
that's
a
not
lot.
bad. He gets that a lot.
Mario's cool.
Mario's
Yeah.
cool
Yeah.
nowadays.
This is true.
It's like a cool thing.
Yeah.
So
But
I get Escobar.
Escobar,
That's the one
Pablo
that's
Escobar.
really or I had long hair. People call me Ron Jeremy. I
Oh
was like,
yeah,
dude.
That's you don't want to be called Ron Jeremy
No.
for the facial stuff, but maybe for other parts.
The hedgehog. right?
Nice, dude.
Yeah, you like what I did there? I know my history.
Yeah.
If I'm going to rock a mustache, I want women to tell me I look like Tom Selleck.
That's
Yeah.
well, he does
I got
get
Tom
that.
Selleck a
He
couple
does get
times,
that.
yeah.
I don't get
That's-
Tom Selleck, so that's why you're fine with it. I don't get Tom Selleck. Don't even. It's like the 200th thing on their list.
Yeah.
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah. They're like, you kind of look like Hitler with a wider mustache. I'm like, no.
Mussolini, maybe.
Stalin. It's funny. All right, so cool. That's really cool about your grandma's portfolio. But so you graduated college. What was your move from there?
Well, I moved from there, so I went pretty much straight to Design Edge. Yeah.
Like
Well, I worked-
with your parents, or was it
Right.
somewhere else?
No, it was with my parents. I did. Well, I got fired actually.
From-
That's my father did fire me. Like when I first got in there, because I had I had hair about the length of yours, and then I came in with a completely shaved head, and my father was like, no, you're not gonna be around clients, and he had like a fit. So then
Oh, because it looked just like horrible.
yeah, no, and white men weren't shaving their heads at this point. It was really early in that. And now I'm at the point where I should be shaving my head. I'm still in denial. I'm politically challenged. But
Looks good.
yeah. So I worked at an art supply store for a little while. But and then I went into the business and slowly but surely, made a name for myself. And in fact, the company you just showed there, Endless Games, who just got sold to Goliath, great company. They were my first account that I got to handle on my own.
Cool.
25 years we worked with them.
Wow.
Yeah, and they've had a lot of great
and
successes.
so the company you're president of now, it was your folks. They started in the garage.
Yeah, the Design
Wow.
Edge. Yes.
That is so awesome.
Yeah, we were doing package design. That was primarily the business, and we would build out showrooms.
And can you explain package design?
Sure, it's like they're doing the graphics, the artwork, the logos.
So like this stuff, basically.
like
we
that
see,
stuff. Of this one that I did not do. Yes.
Yeah, right. Of course. I'm grateful to see that. Thank you. Cool.
Which is funny because I was doing, I swear, at least 90 to 95% of all their stuff. But that's a great game, and they had a lot of success with that.
Yeah, no, it seems like if I were a kid, I would want to play this game. Everyone loves.
You want to play it now still.
I know, exactly. And everyone pretends the floor is lava, so it's fun. But that's sweet. So you guys don't actually create the toys, or have you?
So
Yeah, there we go.
initially,
Nice.
we were package design.
Yeah.
And we would do some showroom build outs. So there used to be a building in New York City, 205th Avenue, which now has Italy in it. If you've ever been to Manhattan, it's
Sometimes. I mean, I do, but I'm so bad. He's the Staten Island guy. He's from Staten Island.
Right. Well, he's
so-
got the mustache to walk into Italy. Oh, I see you. But it was a building that was in the toy industry used as its hub for like 100 years. So every toy company had a showroom in there.
Oh, cool.
Year-round showroom. So we would build out for, say, like Matchbox. We'd build like an aircraft carrier breaking through a wall.
Wow.
Or,
That's sick.
Like I remember spending like 2 weeks building a Keebler tree that you could like actually
nice.
enter and exit.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so we did a lot of that, but then the toy building, but eventually the toy building got sold.
Yeah.
So that all ended, and Toy Fair became only at Javits.
At the Javits
cool.
Center. So that's every when?
It's every February.
Cool.
Yeah.
So basically, before at that building, could people just go in there and check out the showroom?
It was all closed.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
All right, that's so sweet. So like the majority of the top toy brands that we grew up with, basically, or whatever, were essentially located in that building.
Yeah, and we'd be like at Endless Games, like we would sit there and like I would come in there and hang out, and then buyers would come in and they would sit and they'd write orders, and then every now and then some random celebrities would come in, and we'd have like weird meetings, like since you guys are kind of in radio or podcast.
Yeah.
I sat with Baba Booey and discussed ideas with him and John. John Heim.
That's
Heim,
crazy.
is that his name? And then I took Baba Booey around Toy Fair, and I remember all the looks I was getting as I'm like walking around. I was like, "Is he with
Yeah.
Gary from the Howard Stern show?"
That's
It's like,
crazy.
Wow.
yeah.
That is so cool. Why do they come there? Just to see the new, like they have kids and stuff, or?
Well, on that particular instance, so one of the guys in Endless Games created 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, which was a big sort of hit at the time. It was a cultural thing.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I believe that at South by Southwest, they celebrated it a year or two ago as one of the first, social media breakouts. Like the first time, like there was really like something went viral.
Right.
Like a fad.
Yeah, viral I think is the actual term. So Brian from Endless Games and Kevin Bacon, you were on a stage and at South by Southwest and got asked a million questions. And I've gotten to meet Kevin Bacon a few times, but I forgot where I was even going with this. I'm just talking about Endless Games. I should actually work for Endless Games.
No, it's funny. It's just. I was just asking, why they were there, but it doesn't even matter that. But
they would just pitch products. So
Yeah.
oftentimes, like celebrities contact us
to like do endorsement type stuff, or
No,
just to,
well, in my case, they come to me to design stuff.
oh, cool, specifically
Yeah,
for them.
they'll call me and they'll be like, "I've got an idea, and my kids like it, so I think I should invest a lot of money into this."
Gotcha.
And
Can
then
you
9 times
make
out of
this-
10, I won't tell you people's names. They're fucking terrible ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just like, dude, this is. Do you tell them that not to do it, or you just?
Now I do. In
Yeah.
the early days, I was just like more like, "Oh man, like,
Yeah.
I can't
Right.
believe Paula Abdul is calling me."
Yeah. Now it's just like shitty idea. Call me when you have a good one. Bye.
Yeah, because they'll be like, "It's like Monopoly, but instead of like Boardwalk and stuff, it's Bel Air." And I'm like, that's the theme. That's not an idea.
Yeah. It's still Monopoly.
Yeah.
Oh God.
But some of them have some good ideas.
Yeah.
Some great stuff.
Oh, that's really cool. So now, all right. So you've been there for 20 years. What were the challenges?
Well, I mean, we'll digress to how the company went from package design into.
Like, how'd you get to here, basically?
Right. So we were doing a lot of packaging, and we slowly started becoming the back end, the complete back end to a lot of small toy companies that at the time were small and just started to grow rapidly, and we started to grow along with them.
What was the growth like years? Like, when did the toy company? I don't know. I feel like
Take off?
Yeah, there was like a huge boom. I would feel like in the '90s when we were growing up.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
we loved toys so much. I love toys so much.
I mean, I could tell you, I probably worked on a lot of the toys that you remember and you play with. One of the first things I did, I remember sitting with my mother, banging out illustrations for meetings because there was like a new idea of this doll that needed to shake and vibrate, and we needed to do like 20 different versions of it. And I wish I had the renderings because that was Tickle Me Elmo. So
wow.
We worked
Are you kidding?
So we worked on Tickle Me Elmo. And that was like and then also Pogs.
Wait, I don't know how it goes.
Pogs was another one that we.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and to this day, the guy who used to own the company that made Pogs, I curse him out every toy fair because I'm like, my fingers are still cramped from having to cut circles with an X-Acto knife like over and over and over at a chipboard, and I would like come home at night like, I hate Pogs.
My God.
Yeah. But yes, I mean those are some of the early fads that we were a part of, and the '90s had those. It had those like that breakout toy. You hear about it every now and then. The people's like, so "What's the big hit for this year?"
Jingle Bells Rock with Arnold or whatever. Jingle All the Way.
Yeah,
so
Turbo
funny,
Man.
Turbo Man. The way they depict that craze and fad.
That was totally what was going on in
Yeah.
the '90s, and people still think that's going on today, and it is, but it isn't.
Like that.
You're never gonna get because you had like 3 media outlets.
I know.
And they would all pick up on that one item, and then everyone would just be like, hear about it, and they'd have to run and get it. It really started in the '80s with Cabbage Patch. That was the first time that really became like there's a hot toy.
Yeah. My favorite, like just like off the top of my head that I could think of that I love the most, obviously, and it's even, you guys are gonna laugh. He's in this room. It's the Power Ranger toys where you click the back and the heads would flip.
Oh yeah,
and then click again and go back to their helmets were on.
Yeah, I have the original technology that they. So before they used that to make the Power Rangers, it was for an action figure called Pepsi Man in Japan. In Japan, Pepsi has a superhero.
Really?
Yes.
Is it Pepsi Man?
He's Pepsi Man.
Wow.
And I have the figure with Pepsi Man where his head will flip around and do that, the original one.
Wow.
Yeah.
That
What does it
is
flip
sick.
around to? Does he have like a mask?
I mean, he's probably regular, and
know-
then he flips to Pepsi Man.
No, he's all Pepsi Man. I don't even remember. I think maybe the design changes. To be honest, it's in a crate in the warehouse at the office. When I had kids, I was like, "There's too much temptation here. I have to I have to put these things somewhere where they're not going to get to it."
And damaged.
Yeah.
True.
That's
so cool, dude. What is one of your favorite games you've worked on?
I mean, there's so many.
Yeah.
So there's things we've worked on. There's things I've invented.
We could get. I'm down to get into that, but things you've worked on, and then we'll like that. It was a project that got offered to you to do, and you're like, "Wow, I freaking love this." And then I want to go to invented too.
Sure. Well, there's quite a few. Should we go more recently sort of stuff? That's probably
Whatever you want, honestly.
I mean, it was really cool. We got to redo a bunch of Monopolies for Hasbro this year with all different licenses.
Wow.
Like Star Wars or
Disney villains and Marvel and
Cool.
Spider-Man.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's sick. So when you do that, what are you doing? Like, share that.
In this case, so traditionally they give you the brands give you the style guide, and you just pull things out and you go, okay, we're going to use this image from this style guide. But for some crazy reason, and I was totally happy with this, Disney wanted all original art, so we got to like re-illustrate everything.
Wow.
Which was like a dream come true. Like you get to like illustrate Spider-Man, and it's like everywhere, and that's
like
that's on
everywhere.
sale right now. So I don't get any royalties on it, but I'll plug Hasbro. We're in New England. This is their hometown.
Yeah.
But then like my favorite game that I've invented is something called Color Smash, which is also with Goliath, which does Floor's Lava now, which is just I just like it because it's like a great drinking game, and it's just a bunch of color splats on some circles, and there's words on it, and the words have to match the splats, and I don't know. There's videos of it online. You could watch the tutorials.
Yeah, we will. Tony's face perked up there when you said drinking game.
It was a Walmart bestseller, so that game did it right for the short
Congrats.
Cool.
But it's not the biggest thing we ever worked on. But it's just something I like to.
That's like personal to you. That's dope.
Yeah.
I like that. We're gonna have to check that out. Honestly.
Color Splash.
What is the biggest?
Color
Now that you mentioned
Smash.
it?
Smash.
Color
Color
Smash.
Smash,
Ooh.
yeah. It's my Long Island accent goes Color Smash.
Smash.
Yo, we smashed that shit.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. What's the biggest project you've worked on then? Since you said that?
That's biggest is
I
hard.
mean, you brought it up.
I guess I got to realize which sense of what I was saying biggest. Well, we've been nominated for Toy of the Year now, or we've worked on projects that have been nominated for Toy of the Year 4 times now.
Wow.
Which is the Academy, like the Academy Awards.
Where are those hosted at? Do you get to
they're
go and
in
dress
New
up
York
and stuff?
City. Yeah, it's black tie.
Oh, awesome.
Cool.
We've also been nominated for Taggy, which is like, I guess like if one's the Academy Awards, the other one's the Grammys. Like, you know, and
Yeah.
that's in Chicago.
Cool.
And, also get to get dressed up for that, but
Yeah.
I'm a little more relaxed in that one. The top button isn't done,
Okay, good. Got it. It's like what is it called? Business casual?
or lightly drunk.
Lightly drunk.
Yes.
That's good. I like that.
yes.
Someone should. Anybody out there making?
Wedding invitations be like a tire, lightly drunk.
Yeah, that's perfect. Honestly. What's a project that you just hated?
Oh, there's so many.
Yeah, I mean, I bet.
There's so
honestly.
many, but I'm not going to say it.
You don't have to say like the actual
Well,
whatever, but what's the experience that made you not like it? Basically, like what was it? What about it?
Well, one thing that just comes to mind, only because we were talking about it in the studio the other day, is when the first Hulk movie came out, we had the program for it, meaning the licensing program. They were pushing so hard to make that like as big as Spider-Man, right? Mm-hmm. And we got so inundated with so much Hulk stuff, and there was just so much green everything, and it was label slapped everything. I mean, we were doing like lame things like, you know, those sponge things you throw in water and it grows, like do that in Hulk, and then make a Hulk bicycle and make a Hulk this and make a Hulk that. We made like a 2-story Hulk that was just to be used in front of a Toys R Us somewhere in like Texas or something like that. And it was so much Hulk. I mean, I kid you not, we spent 9 months every day working on
Hulk
every
stuff.
type of Hulk thing, and everything was a disconnect. It was like, I don't even know why the Hulk would never do this. Like, Hulk doesn't have kitchenware. Like,
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. And then when the movie came out, I was like, no, I'm not seeing this.
Yeah, it was horrible. It wasn't even good.
Yeah, no, then everything that we worked, of course, everything bombed.
Yeah.
You know, but I didn't have to worry about it. But I knew it.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes when things come back, there's so much, push and excitement behind it. Everyone jumps on these licenses. Like, when they brought back Star Wars the second time,
Yeah.
it was also a catastrophe,
Which with the time with 1, 2, and 3?
Yes.
Or okay.
Yeah, the prequels.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone thought that lightning was going to strike twice, and a lot of companies jumped on board and again, doing all this label slapping of stuff. I'm sure there is some Star Wars kitchenware from that era.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
I have one.
And
You do?
I have it's like a lightsaber pizza cutter,
there
and it
you
like
go.
lights up and stuff, and it's cool.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah. Do you ever put the blaster shield down so you can cut the pizza properly?
Use the force. I don't even look.
But yeah, so it was so a lot of those sort of programs always, I mean, we like doing them, but I can't stand it when it's just like there's a disconnect between the product and the themes and just label slapped,
Yeah. It's like almost like an organic.
Well, they're just whoring it out. Really,
Yeah.
is what they're doing.
Yeah, just to make as much money as they can.
Yeah.
Not care about really what is being put out.
Yeah, there's some, I always envision some guy with a cigar, but in the head office being like, I don't give a fuck what it is, just put Hulk on it.
Yeah. I'll pay whatever.
Yeah.
Oh God, it sounds like Tony.
Oh, right.
Which, by the way, your merch shop when I walked in was very impressive.
Our merch shop.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah, there's nothing. Yeah. That's funny. I was like, wow, where is it? Renee, you built something? Oh, it's so funny. Yeah. So what's a project you're working on right now?
Well, that's the stuff I can never.
Oh,
talk about.
okay.
We get contracted up
Until the release date.
Yeah, and some projects we're 2 years in advance.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So because it takes time to make whatever they need.
yeah. Well, it depends on. Yeah, it takes time to design it, to engineer it, to get it in front of buyers, to get buyer feedback,
Yeah.
to get it manufactured, to get it over here. And usually, the larger the company, the longer the lead time. Mm-hmm. And then also, there's times when there's like we're located on a movie studio lot.
Cool.
And we often also sit down with movie producers and go through stuff to see if we can make it quote unquote more toyetic.
Meaning what?
So if there's like a main character and, say she's a female lead, we might suggest like long hair. So if we make a doll, it can be braided.
Yeah.
Things like that. Try
Got
to
it.
add as much play value
As possible for the child to have with that piece. I get it. Yeah, cool. So it's not just like, oh, I'm done with it now.
Yes. Yeah.
Got
We
it.
want to make sure there's play value in there and that there's no disconnect. And then we're not just label slapping after the fact.
Right. Exactly. Like there's some thought behind what you're putting out rather than just, like you said, whoring it out.
Yeah.
I like that. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I don't like funny, though. Funny's not. In toys, we want to be very serious.
Yes,
Oh,
of
yeah,
course. You have to be, right?
Yes.
No fun
Yes.
in toys.
Yes,
No.
very fun.
There has to be all fun.
Right.
I feel like. What yeah. I mean, I'm just thinking of going in like if I was like to work at that place, it's like, all right, here we go. Today we're making toys. Like how could you be upset? You can't be the Grinch.
And even there's some times where it gets a little crazy. There's
Yeah.
a massive deadline, and then I just go home and I'm like, I don't know what I'm freaking out about. It's a doll that farts.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Like put it in perspective, like it's all okay. Like
Yeah.
I'm making a doll that farts right now.
Yeah, and I'm worried about the deadline.
Yeah. Instead of enjoying the doll that farts.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Do you have any questions, Tony? I feel like you've been quiet today.
Right now?
He's anti-toy. He's
Not,
just-
no,
he doesn't like toys.
I'm very pro toy. All right. I guess one question. I guess to go back, I didn't get a chance to answer, but like when you did kind of go out of college, I guess, and work with your parents and the company, were you at that point like living on your own?
Yes. Yeah.
You were on Long Island living on your own.
Yeah. I was 18 when I moved out of my parents' house.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's cool. Did you ever have to like get like a side job to make ends meet? Is there like a freelance toy making sort of deal or?
No, I mean I always had jobs like here or there, like
Right.
and so I was always able to cut. I had roommates and things like that.
Yeah.
And there was times there was a lot of couch surfing.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
I didn't mind that. To this day, I don't. I don't really need much, and my job takes me all over the world. So for the most part, I end up in a lot of like really shitty hotels in strange parts of the world. And I think if I didn't have that in me, I wouldn't be able to survive those trips.
See that?
Yeah. That's so funny. No, I love it. Are your parents still working?
My mother's at the office today, but she just kind of goes through the books with our accountant, and my father comes in every now and then, just to stir shit up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he
break
does.
the balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll come unannounced while I'm in the middle of some like catastrophe with some customers.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
And then have to like hold court and stop everyone what they're doing, and he'll want something made for. He volunteers for a lot of charities, and over the years, many like restoring the Fire Island Lighthouse. He's worked with the Walt Whitman Museum, but he's always got something that we have to do that's free.
So when he comes in, that's what's going on.
This free
What
shit's
else do we
coming
have
in.
to make for free?
Yeah, and it not only has to be done for free, it has to be done right now.
Yes. Stop everything you're doing.
Yes. But he's he's doing it for all the right reasons.
Yeah.
So I don't complain.
No, it's awesome.
Actually, I do complain. I just complained right now. But,
I
appreciate it.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
It's good that they're like still involved, and I'm sure it's an amazing feeling for them to see you, running the company and running it so well.
I learned so much from them. One of the biggest advantages I had is, I think if I was even 5 years, like, if my parents were 5 years younger, or if all this just started 5 years differently, none of it would have happened. Because
Keep going, yeah.
I mean, well, there's a lot of reasons for it, but one of the main reasons is that when my father worked at HG Toys, they did everything at that plant there. So he knew about manufacturing, he knew about design, he knew about engineering, he knew about, and I like when Design Age first started, and all these companies sprouted out of the remnants of HG, and some of these companies became really big companies. They were hiring us to do stuff, and I learned how to do all of that. I can't find anybody who's got that wealth because nobody manufactures in the U.S. anymore.
Right.
So anyone that's my age or even a couple years older than me doesn't know anything about this sort of stuff, and they all specialize in one particular thing.
Right.
But we are not. We are the back end to dozens of toy companies. We're just not the middle. We're all the development, and we manufacture for a lot of these companies. And I just can't believe like I was fortunate enough to get that sort of an education from my parents, and then there's, like I said, school was almost a waste of time for me.
Right, and I'm reading a book called Outliers, and it actually talks about that. And one of the examples it uses is hockey players in Canada in the early 90s. Like a vast amount of professional hockey players that made it to the NHL or the CHL were born in February, March, and April.
Oh.
And it had to do with, they, compared to their other classmates, a year makes a difference growing up, basically.
Well, especially in sports.
Right. So they're more athletic, they're bigger, they're stronger. And so guess who makes the A team? Who makes the B team? Guess A team has more practice. Then practice leads to more opportunities and scouts and all that. And then it's over. And then another example was Bill Gates and his father, and like how being around, if his father, like you said, wasn't born at his time to be where he was, and then Bill Gates born at that exact time, if he was born 2 years earlier, we might not know Bill Gates, basically.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting that you brought that up.
It's all about timing.
Yeah.
It really is. I think if the Beatles didn't break when they did, some other band would have broken it.
Right.
I think it was just a meeting of media, music, and technology all at the same time.
I agree. I always think
Right place, right time.
Right. And I always think there's like this idea vortex in the universe and everyone like has access to it, right? Is how I think. And like if you're not going to do the idea, someone will, basically. Like someone else has that idea.
It's in the ether.
Yeah, exactly.
Waiting to be grabbed.
Right.
And I oftentimes get people who call me with just ideas though. That's one thing that drives me nuts is I get a lot ideas and no solutions.
Yeah.
People
just here's an idea. And you're like, okay, but do you know all this other stuff that you have to figure out?
They think of themselves as an inventor when they're just making lists of things that they think would be cool.
Right.
And I'm like, it's a lot more to that. You actually have to build it. And design it and figure it out. Yeah.
To become the inventor.
Yeah.
Right.
So I often say, or I'm quoted in magazines and stuff as saying like, there's no shortage of ideas, but there's a shortage of solutions.
Yeah.
And when companies, if you're trying to invent and license toys to a toy company, you have to come to them with a solution because they're not going to invest in your idea. They have their own list of ideas.
Correct. Like a whole team that comes up with ideas every day.
But if you come into them with a solution and it's going to save them time and money, that's the worth.
Right. Fun tidbit for anybody out there trying to get in the toy game.
Yeah, well, really any game, I feel like at that point.
Yeah, no,
that's pretty universal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm heavily involved in the inventor community. So I sit on the...
We saw that you sit on the board of...
A couple of boards.
Yeah.
My others can't joke because I'm bored to death.
Tony's a dad joke kind of guy. I like that one too. That was funny.
But I sit on the United Inventors Association of America executive board, which is the world's largest inventor education and advocacy group. It's birthed out of the USPTO, the patent office in Washington, D.C. And we, try to educate inventors and steer them clear of shams and scams, really, and and whatnot, and get them to know what steps they need to take to, and with their invention and how to get it in front of people.
Got it.
So, and then I also sit on the People of Play's advisory board, which has a big show in Chicago every single year. And that's just more like, just a meeting of the minds, like, hey, what would be cool to do this year, sort of a thing. And it's
for that show.
And that's a great show for budding toy inventors or people who just want to meet people in the industry and see if they can find a home in the industry.
Yeah.
Because it's unlike Toy Fair. If you show up at New York Toy Fair and you're trying to get like a job or you're trying to get, your invention in front of somebody, that show isn't for that.
Yes.
So you're not going to get the time of day.
Right.
Well, the People of Play show is. So people are there to do that.
Yep.
And then I also sit on the Toy Association, which is the trade industry. It's our little political alliance there. They run Toy Fair, so I help them with their education seminars during the toy show.
Cool.
So yeah, I get up on stage and I make a fool of myself, and I'm always like, I'm going to prepare this year, and then I never do.
It's so funny.
Show up half hungover from the night before and talk to a group of people while I'm sweating.
Man, you put on a show, I bet.
Yeah, I think they come for the train wreck is what
yeah, exactly.
They're probably talking about it all leading up to it and everything.
Like, this year again, I bet. How much do you think he's going to sweat?
The people know I like the abuse. Actually, the People of Play board was actually deciding that they wanted to start doing roasts and they want me to be the guinea pig, to be the first person to be roasted. I'm like, if this is videoed, I'm not in because it's going to haunt me for the rest of my life.
That's great.
Too many people have too many stories.
Yeah. No, it's great. One question we usually ask is, what book have you read, or do you read, or are you reading a book right now, or a book that has impacted you in some way?
Oh, I mean, I read a lot. I mean, even reading this morning. But yeah, right now I'm just reading Danny Trejo's autobiographies. That doesn't really apply.
Nice.
No, it's cool.
Well, still,
We just talked about him the other day, right?
Yeah, he's going to be in the Curse of La Llorona.
La Llorona.
Yeah, or the Legend of.
The Legend of La Llorona.
Yeah. His book is great.
Yeah.
It really is. I'm really big on autobiographies.
I am too, actually.
Yeah.
I like I grew up reading autobiographies. That's how I got into reading, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't like I don't like biographies because I don't like the other angle of someone trying to make some sort of canon for somebody.
Right.
I like to hear it from the person who lived it.
Me too.
And but yeah, I do highly recommend his book. It's really. I mean, I checked actually the other day. I was telling someone else to read it, and I went on Amazon. I'm like, it's 5 stars. That's. He's had quite an insane life.
I definitely put that. I mean, I'm making my Christmas list, so I'm trying to get some books on there.
Yeah, but yeah, mostly autobiographies.
Cool.
And then really big into Kurt Vonnegut for a while.
I haven't read it.
He's good. He's really witty.
Cool.
If you want some fiction, you should check him out.
Cool.
Yeah.
I totally will then. I like fiction as well.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to ask, like, obviously, like, we're kind of still in the midst of COVID here, and COVID's definitely hurt businesses in terms of, like, shipping parts and stuff like that. Like, how is that? I would imagine, especially with Christmas and stuff coming, like, how has that kind of affected your work?
It's been tough, actually. Yeah. From a design standpoint, we haven't skipped a beat because that's done here.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have some of our clients that we've manufactured some stuff for. They stuff sitting in the ocean or waiting to get onto a ship. And, in the Toy Association, which I was mentioning before, they've issued warnings that to buy toys as fast as you can. The shelves are going to be barren.
Yeah. No, I remember. I forgot if it was who's the vice president again? What's her name?
Of Kamala Harris?
Kamala Harris. I was
Vice President of the United States.
Kamala Harris. I forgot
what is this United States?
Well, let me tell you.
That new?
Yeah, just started. No, she in August, I want to say, came out with saying that, like, get your Christmas toys now. Basically, she was saying, which I saw a thing that it's not only just, I'm sure, in your industry, but it's in a bunch of industries that these cargo ships are literally just stopped, docked, not moving in the ocean.
If you go to the port of Long Beach in California, you can just see them one after the other, after the other, after the other. Jeez. Even in, I'm in Long Island, so, if I go down to the beach, I can see, or I go fishing, because my father's big into fishing, and I'll join him sometimes. But if you go down the ocean, we see all the container ships just waiting.
What are they, just on strike right now?
No, they're just waiting to be allowed to come in. There's such a backup.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So they're just on hold.
Wow.
And the price is ridiculous.
I bet. Ridiculous. Just sitting there, they have to...
Well, no, so let's say containers. If you ever seen a container, I mean, you live right near 95, so all those those 18-wheeler trucks, there's a container on the back. That's the container.
Yeah.
So those get loaded onto a boat, and they get put onto the truck.
Yep.
So one of those containers used to cost, for like a 20-foot container, let's say $3,000. In August, $18,000.
Why the jump?
Because they can.
Yeah.
That's what I feel, at least.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll argue there's other reasons.
But that's
I'm sure that this is their chance to make as much money as they possibly can.
Correct. Yep. They're like going all in right now, essentially.
Yeah, it's crazy because I have clients that we designed and developed stuff and started producing it just as COVID hit, who can't even bring their goods in because the container costs as much as the goods, which would mean they'd have to double the price of the product.
Jesus. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. I mean, it seems like you're okay, but because everything is flowing on your end, but it's just tough for your clients to have to deal with all this.
Yeah, I'm okay, but I'm not.
You have to hear it. And
well, it's not just I feel horrible for them.
Yeah.
Plus, I want these people to have great success.
Yeah.
And then my success banks on their success.
Correct.
And I'm in the business of making people into solid companies or rock stars. I'm usually the man behind the curtain.
Yeah.
I don't sales the sales people at Walmart, they might know my name from here or there, but they don't always know I'm involved. It's not, they don't care. They just see the product. So it's my job to make sure that everything looks fantastic by the time it gets there.
Right.
And when those people have success and they sell more stuff in, I get more work.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's crazy. Is it when are these ships gonna do they have a time frame of when they're gonna be allowed in? And
Well, I mean, they're just in waiting patterns.
oh, okay.
And they come in, and then once they come in, we've had issues also when it gets in, and then customs pulls it aside to inspect, and they charge every single day while it's waiting, and they just take their time getting to it. So especially if you were unfortunate to have started a company during COVID,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden you had this unexpected raise in price of everything, and then it comes here, and you're already like, well, maybe I can sell this and at least make my money back. Then you run into this. Now you're going negative.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
And I really just wish that we could do more manufacturing in the U.S. But there's a lot of headaches about that, especially with toys.
Yeah.
It's really hard to bring toy manufacturing back here.
Right, because I'm sure there's just so many laws and legality things in terms of that.
Yes,
It's cheaper too out there.
It's also we don't have the skilled labor for a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
People are like, yeah, well, there's a plastic manufacturer down the block. I'm like, yes, but can they deco action figures
Yeah.
for like a reasonable rate?
Probably not.
No.
Yeah.
No. Everything would end up being like a high-end collectible.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy. It's tough, dude. And then our last question we actually have is what's some advice you'd give a young you out there?
A young me?
Yeah. Just getting out of school.
Just keep on going. Right?
Yeah.
I'm one of those guys that just like falls into it all the time. Like, I'm just things either work out or it's a catastrophe. That's why I'm worried about getting roasted because there's so many stories.
Yeah, you're not sure where it could go.
Right. Yeah.
That's funny. Anything else, Tony, for you?
Is there a big market for kids going into toy making at all, like in terms of going to school for it and stuff like that in the U.S. or?
Yeah. I mean, there's schools like FIT. They have a toy design program, and so does Otis out in Los Angeles, and they train kids to be professional toy inventors and try to get them jobs at big toy companies. So yeah,
that's cool.
I
remember actually being in high school and figuring out what I wanted to do and stuff. And I remember looking through the big pamphlet my guidance counselor gives me, and right on it was Toy Maker. I'm like, oh, it sounds pretty sweet. And I looked at what colleges. It was like MIT was the highest one that had a toy making program. I was like, oh, I'll try for it. Not really thinking it would have so much math involved. And I was
yeah, but you should have told them in the future you'd have a mustache, and they would have just given you the
Yeah, exactly.
I can have ideas.
Yes.
I can't bring you solutions.
Yes, just ideas.
Be the idea guy.
Yeah. That's funny. I love that. Cool. I mean, I had a great time. I learned a lot.
You said you have kids?
You do?
Yes, I have 2 boys. Yes.
Are they involved with your toy making too?
Are my kids involved in the toy making? I mean, they come around and they mess around. So, my oldest son just turned 14, so he's sort of aging out of it.
Yeah.
But the little guy is still into tech deck and all that sort of stuff. So he'll come to my office and he'll build himself skate parks.
Oh, sick.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And play with the tech deck on them? Cool.
Yeah, because we got everything
you need, yeah.
Everything you need. Like his friends are probably like, how the hell did you make that? Well, you don't have a vacuum former at your house?
Yeah. That's funny, dude. That is great.
Tech
That's
deck
awesome.
is fun. Are they expected to kind of take over the business?
Well, I mean, every now and then they ask about it, and I'm like, if that's what you want to do, yeah. But I advise them not to go to design school. I actually told my oldest son, if you want to go to the business, obviously we'll train you here.
Yeah.
And go and get a degree in law and IP.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Because I feel like that's more worth.
If he's going to be in the company, it's good to know that you could learn for free from you.
Yeah.
Got the best fucking dude to teach you.
Yeah.
For free.
Yeah. And like I said, when I went to art school, I really
you were pissed that you went after. Yeah. It's like, Dad, come on.
I mean, I had a great time socially.
Yeah, of course. I'm sure he will too, though. He's still got to take his undergrad and stuff, so he'll still experience it. But yeah, dude, I had a great time. Honestly, I really did.
Well, thanks, guys, and girls.
You're a really good. You're a really great storyteller, and you got a great voice. So look into podcasts more too.
Well, I'll pick up that smoking and come back and have an even better voice.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, guys, like, comment, subscribe, and go to our website for merch. It's the holiday season. See you soon.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.